We got some stuff to talk about when it comes to the Dougherty dozen and the bio mom, Shawna. If you guys followed that situation, you will know what I'm talking about. A few months ago, I covered it, and it was a complete and utter disaster. So we're going to talk about all of that in this video. So let's just get right into it. Okay, so I heard that there were some updates and things going on with the Dougherty dozen and the bio mom situation, the Kinship kids. So I kind of wanted to do a little update video because I haven't talked about that in months. I was covering it very closely at the time, and I will leave those videos down below if you guys have no idea what I'm talking about. I suggest that you watch those videos first, but I will give people a little recap if you forgot, just to refresh your memory if you don't know what I'm talking about. So obviously we have the Dougherty dozen. The Alicia Dougherty is the mom of the Dougherty dozen. Big family channel. She has a ton of kids adopted and some biological. They were a family of 14 with 12 kids, and now they're a family of 13 with 11 kids. Sorry, math is not my strong suit, okay? The math can't math in my head. Math is just not for me. Okay, so what happened was Alicia Dougherty started blowing up on YouTube by making food for her kids. Like, I'm making dinner for my 12 kids, making a bunch of sandwiches, and she had her snackerty board. And she quickly gained popularity for having adopted kids, for making vlogs, and all the food that she was making. And then she also blew up because she would do like these giant shopping hauls, like giant amount of food, spend thousands of dollars at the grocery store. Well, of course, shortly after her rise to fame, the anti-mommy vloggers found Alicia Dougherty, and she was very heavily talked about in the anti-mommy vlogger community for months. I mean, we had Radiant Brit, Cursed Eye, the Dad Challenge podcast jumped on board, but not till way later on. He kind of jumped on the Dougherty dozen bandwagon after he saw how much views and subscribers and attention creators were getting for talking about her, right? We had Amy Robinson talking about her. We had all these side channels popping up like Mastermind Clips. We had that other channel. What was the name? Snarkbish? Something like that. Snarky Bish. It was something like that. But there was a ton of clip channels popping up. I mean, the Alicia Dougherty content was popping like 6-7 months ago. It seems like it's kind of slowed down a lot, which is interesting to me. That the commentary on Alicia Dougherty has kind of slowed down. Like Radiant Brit doesn't really talk about her anymore. Amy Robinson doesn't really talk about her that much anymore. It kind of seemed to have like slowed down a lot. But Josh, DCP, still covers her. Oh, and we had Honora. Okay, and we're gonna get into what happened with Alicia Dougherty and the Kinship kids in this video, and how Honora and DCP and also Radiant Brit was a part of it, but not as much, completely tried to destroy this family, and how disgusting it is. And we're going to talk about what is going on now as a result, and why the anti-mommy vloggers should stay out of people's personal lives. I have been preaching this since the beginning of me talking about the anti-mommy vloggers. They insert themselves, a lot of them, into these people's lives when they don't know the full situation. They don't know what they're doing. And they cause real damage to real families in their real life. And it's not okay. So, Alicia Dougherty, like I said, she has adopted kids. People started talking about her, covering her, making videos, saying she's exploiting. She was sharing too much medical info, according to people. She was buying too much food. She was, Radiant Brit was like, she buys too much bread. She washed her dog with Suave shampoo instead of dog shampoo. I mean, it was like stupid shit like that. Now,
this video might come off as petty to some of y'all, and that's okay. There are a couple things in my life that I'm very passionate about, and I'm sure, as most of y'all can imagine, first and foremost is how animals are treated. I am a dog lover. I am a dog obsessed crazy lady. On top of it, if y'all want to know what kind of human shampoo she was using frickin' Suave.
Some of the stuff that was being said about her, like, I can understand the conversation around it, but most of the videos that were being made at the time about Alicia were just ridiculous. We had the whole sandwich gate. I'll leave that video down below too.
Pissed off right now. I was not planning on doing another Dougherty Dozen video for at least for a couple of days. I just had some other stuff that was on my mind that I wanted to talk to you guys about, but I watched her freaking Costco haul and I'm so angry. So Alicia decides to go to Costco and do a haul. This is something that she does all the time. It's not something new or interesting, but I received some messages about this Costco haul, so I decided to watch it at 2x speed for myself just to see what's the upset about. Why am I seeing Costco all over my DMs? And this woman announces that she's doing this 1 million subscriber quote celebration on Christmas Eve. So I'm thinking, okay, what could she have planned? What could she possibly come up with that, you know, is exciting for the viewers? She ends up going over to Costco, and this woman buys like 150 granola bars, 200 Nutri-Grain bars, a bunch of cookies, a bunch of snacks, and so much bread. Heart almost hit the floor when I saw the amount of bread she bought.
All right, I need a lot of bread. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Alicia Dougherty, and this is not a threat or anything like that, but this is what I hope she's going to do. I hope that all of these granola bars and Nutri-Grain bars are going to the homeless shelter. I hope that all the socks are going to their local homeless shelter. And it would be nice if sweatsuits also did, because let's be honest, they already have it at home. I really hope that she proves everyone wrong for once and decides that this haul is what she's going to give back. A homeless shelter would be absolutely floored to receive all of the stuff that she piled on these 4 flats at Costco and a cart. 4 flats plus a cart. So here's my hope. My hope is that she's going to have her kids pitch in, and instead of just playing with their toys and being extra spoiled on Christmas, they spend part of their Christmas Eve helping put together bagged lunches for the homeless shelter. I hope that's what's going to happen. My local homeless shelter will accept bagged lunches. I don't know if you have to be like qualified to do that. I kind of worry about, you know, Alicia's kitchen is not super clean, but maybe she's not preparing them. Maybe she's just going to drop off.
Where Alicia made all these sandwiches for a charity, and everybody flipped out because she was making the sandwiches on the table. Then people were saying she threw them out. Somebody contacted one of the charities and they were like, no, we can't take them because she didn't put them sealed. It was just a whole mess, but it turned into like this whole drama that didn't even need to happen, okay?
Endless loaves of bread being put to use by Alicia. Now here's the thing. She's making 200 sandwiches for her 1 million subscriber celebration on YouTube. Thank you, Dietz and Watson, for donating all the meats and cheeses. Ew. I have been really hoping that she was going to do the right thing after I saw that Costco haul. And I said, let me give the benefit of the doubt. Hopefully this is going back to people that are unhoused this holiday season. Maybe they're trying to get out of abusive relationships with their children. Let's hope that for once she does something that gives back. And sat on it for a few days. It was supposed to happen Christmas Eve. Nothing happened. The bread was still sitting around. Whatever. Now we come to the 28th where she is showing, first of all, putting all of this bread on just a table. We don't, you know, let's just give the benefit of the doubt and say that she sanitized this table. This table should have been covered with some kind of plastic wrap or saran wrap or something in order for this porous surface, which is wood, to not come in contact with this bread that could be going to people outside of the Dougherty home. Secondly, she's not wearing gloves. Now, y'all don't have to be the smartest people on the planet to know that when you're preparing food for others, sanitize, wash your hands, wash your hands, wash your hands. Keep a clean workspace, keep a clean workspace. Alicia's not doing any of that here. Number one, and I am not a food inspector, I'm just someone who happens to care about hygiene and cleanliness, and I know a thing or two about prepping food for people that are outside of my home. Number one, who knows if the table was properly sanitized? Number two, it doesn't have a cover on it, so there's no protecting this food that is going to be ingested from the germs and who knows what else that might be on this table that wasn't properly cleaned. Secondly, Alicia's not wearing gloves. Third, she's not wearing a hairnet. Fourth, she's not wearing an apron or anything to keep her clothing from brushing up against this bread that is on the edge of this dining room.
Okay. And then we had tampon gate. Oh yes, I said it. Tampon gate. Okay. Everybody was freaking out because a channel called Mastermind Clips, who is now known as Mad Nutter, he might sound familiar to you. Yeah, he's the one who threatened to K me, off Kirsty, doxes people every day, all kinds of crazy unhinged stuff. Is friends with Honora and DCP. That's the kind of people we're dealing with here. I know. It's crazy. So, Mastermind Clips got a clip of Alicia Dougherty doing the laundry. And Alicia Dougherty pulls something out of the dryer. And Mastermind Clips claims that it was a dirty, bloody tampon. Clearly, it was a pink baby sock. But of course, people like Honora ran with it, went live, was like, fake outraging like a motherfucker, okay? Oh, she's disgusting. How could she put the tampon in the frame on purpose to hurt N.
It is yours. Stop lying, and why you did not edit that part out of your video. What were you hoping to gain by leaving that part in?
Are you fucking out of your damn mind? There's only two people in that house that have their woman thing, and we know who they are. Gross. She literally, she pulled, like, this woman never goes through her laundry. She shoves shit in the fucking washer, right? Now, I only watched a few seconds of it because she's done, she pisses me off. She puts the laundry in, and then she looks and she pulls it out and says, "This isn't mine," and throws a bloody tampon across the fucking room, landing God knows where for everybody who's in the laundromat to fucking see it. She's fucking gross. And then she says it's not hers. And so who else is it? So you're literally blaming that on a 14-year-old girl. She didn't edit it out because she wanted it there. A fucking nasty, disgusting human being who wants to exploit a girl that she can't exploit. So she's going to find ways to exploit her. It's disgusting, and I'm disgusted with this whole thing. And for her to continue like this and nobody fucking says anything, nobody has anything to say about it. They're so concerned on what fucking Honora's saying and not what Alicia's doing.
So we had N and D, who were the Kinship children, okay? And they were very heavily scrutinized and watched for some reason. A lot of attention was put on N and D when they were Kinship kids in Alicia Dougherty's household, okay? Well, here comes Honora and DCP. They decide that the Kinship kids should not be in Alicia's household anymore, okay? She's horrible, she's evil, she's hurting all the children, she's exploiting them, get all the kids out. Like, this is the kind of crazy shit that the anti-mommy vloggers do, okay? They literally think they have the authority to say what kids should be in somebody's house and what shouldn't. Like, it's none of your damn business. Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth, mind your business, and do your thing. Like, these people are crazy, unhinged. It's wild. Well, here comes the bio mom into the situation. So, the bio mom, who was the mother of N and D, who Alicia Dougherty was an old friend, okay? Shawna, the bio mom, was an old friend of Alicia. She fell into hard times of addiction, and not having enough money, housing, anything to look after her kids. And instead of her kids going into the foster care system, Alicia, these two teenage siblings, Instead of them going into the foster care system, Alicia agreed to temporarily take the kids and bring them into her home. And she took them in as her own, okay? They got signed up for school. They made friends. D, the boy, is on the football team, Alicia bought them everything they could need, took them on trips with her. I mean, she took them in as her own children. But the anti-mommy vloggers hate Alicia so much that they had to demonize her and act like she's the worst mother on the planet. So, somebody comes across Shawna's Facebook, okay? And this is where Radiant Britt comes in, and this is where she kind of ends, too, because she kind of tries to stay out of it and distance herself from the situation. You know it's a shit show if Radiant Britt is like, I have nothing to do with y'all. Because we know how Britt rolls, okay? And sometimes I think maybe she's smarter for that. And I don't even like her, but sometimes I think that Radiant Britt is smart for staying out of the shit that she does, because I know from experience, the shit that I get pulled into just by giving my opinion is crazy. Anyway, somebody came across Shawna's Facebook and she was like, I'm done. She was this like ranting post about how she's getting her children back.
Me being accused of exploiting my children or oversharing. First of all, they're my children. Second of all, I don't overshare.
Okay? And of course the anti-mommy vlogger's ears perked up. Like, what? Biomom's around? She's trying to get her kids back? Here's our opportunity to insert ourselves, butt into their life, and try to help her just to spite Alicia. That's what they all did, believe it or not, okay? So Radiant Britt comes out with the video and shows this Facebook post, and then after that, it was just downhill, okay? We had Honora and DCP talking to the biomom behind the scenes. Honora and her friends were trying to help her get donations. They were saying they were going to help her fight for the kids in court. Even though Shawna had only been newly sober for a couple months, if that, okay? And then Shawna starts making these vlogs where she's like, hey guys, I'm going to the drug testing place. I'm going to my groups. And it was really weird how she was vlogging all this stuff while trashing Alicia Dougherty, okay? I'm just going to be really upfront. I don't like the biomom. I think Shawna is a complete piece of shit. I think she's a piece of shit. She instead of just doing what she needed to do, I don't know why my necklace keeps going crooked. It's the only thing I hate about these necklaces. They don't stay in place. These are from Ana Luisa, by the way. I will link them down below. They sent them to me, and they're beautiful. They're beautiful jewelry. Instead of Shawna being supportive because somebody has her children, somebody is taking care of your children while you are supposed to be getting your shit together. Well, here it is a year later. Shawna's still not clean enough, like for enough period of time to get her kids back. She still doesn't have housing to get her kids back. She has nothing. She has done nothing in this year that Alicia has had the kids to get her children back. But now she's decided that she wants to be social media famous, and she's going to take her kids back from Alicia. The evil, wicked Alicia Dougherty, okay? Shawna comes in, and she has the backing of DCP, Honora, and a lot of the anti-mommy vloggers. Now, here's where Amy Robinson and Kirsty spoke up about the situation and was like, hey, not cool. You guys shouldn't be doing this. You have no right to butt into their life and be bringing biomom around and be getting into custody situations and inserting yourselves. It was fucked up. We don't know the real story. Like, we don't know every ins and outs of this agreement, about Shawna, about nothing. But because this is the problem with anti-communities, because they hate Alicia so much, in their minds, it's okay. And all that needs to be done is get the kids away from her. Get the kids away from her. And we're going to see now that it's really sad that that is kind of the outcome for one of the children.
We had an opportunity to expose Alicia for who she really is. Someone wanted to talk. Someone who knows Alicia personally. And I thought, this is it. We are finally going to show everybody who Alicia is. And that is where shit hit the fan. Now, I was aware that what I was going to put out there was not going to make people happy. Alicia Dougherty told her kinship placement child, N, that her mother was still doing drugs and not doing outpatient therapy. You blame me for exposing it, rather than Alicia saying that to her father was a pedo. You are mad at me because I exposed it, but not mad at Alicia for saying that to Alicia tells Nip there are not enough foster homes, and the foster homes that she would go to, she would be sleeping on the floor. You are mad at me for exposing that, but not mad at Alicia for saying that. A young girl tried to harm.
Had to mute this part because she again says the bad situation that N was in publicly.
But it's my fault for exposing it, but not Alicia's fault for causing it. A young girl reached out to her mother for help. It is my fault for exposing it, but not Alicia's fault for having call her mother for help because she wasn't getting it from Alicia. A young girl was put in a mental health facility because Alicia put her there because of the stress that this young girl is going through. And it's my fault for exposing it, but not Alicia's fault for doing it. Not Alicia's fault for causing more trauma to her kinship placement children. Are you or are you not against child exploitation? I am curious. Because if you were, instead of coming after me, you would have taken what I have given you and you would have blown that up to get Alicia to stop exploiting her children. So far, you all are fucking enablers.
So we have Shawna just trashing Alicia. She's on all these hate channels of Alicia while this woman is taking care of your fucking children, taking them to school, buying them clothes, feeding them, doing everything for them, mothering them, doing all the shit that you can't do. You're on Nora's channel in the chat talking shit about her, saying she's horrible to your children. You need to get them out. It was just disgusting. It was disgusting, and Shawna was a piece of shit for what she did, okay? Now, during this time, one of the kids, and she was going through some things. The internet was very hard on N, including Nora. Okay, Nora talked about her chest, her body, what she wore. She was just heavily scrutinized by the anti-mommy vloggers. And it makes no sense to me how you're helping kids by blasting them in your videos, embarrassing them, talking about their bodies, their looks, what they're wearing, and saying she's inappropriate. And it was just a mess.
The flavor disappears. I haven't eaten McDonald's in years. Oh, it's fantastic. I love it. Your poor kids are getting so fat because you won't stop feeding them all this bullshit. Your kids could lose weight if you stop feeding them bullshit, but you refuse to do it because you want to make money off of it. So fuck you. It was recently when they were doing their fall pictures, he had fixed her bra strap or her shirt or something. First of all, he does not need to be touching her at all. And even if she was her daughter or his daughter, he still should be like, hey, fix your shirt or something, and still not be touching. I would still find it appropriate if my dad came over and fixed my bra. Dude, what the fuck are you doing? Back the fuck off, dude. The other one I saw was they were in New York and they were taking pictures, and Josh had went around. He was standing behind JA and N. And then he moved JA around and moved N next to him. And he was kind of, doing that guy look over. The guys are like, they're so stupid. Like, dude, you really got to learn how to fucking not be so fucking obvious, especially when there's a camera on you. Yeah, so he's taking a gander. Okay, now I'm going to say something that might make people mad, but this is coming from my own experience. So N is very well developed for her age. Now, when I was 16, I was pushing triple D. And if you're a woman, you know that's big. I am now pushing in an E. Yes, that does exist. And yes, I have to get my bras specially made. So anyways, by her age, I had a chest the size of hers. And she wears clothes that are very revealing, especially for a 14-year-old girl with a very well-developed chest. And I don't care how holy and morally correct you think you are, or how old the person is that you're looking at, anybody is going to look. Anybody. I would look because I'd be like, holy shit, that kid's got big old, or an adult. But it's something you notice. And instead of making it more noticeable by having the top part of your chest being shown, people are going to look. So for her age, she needs to be covered up. I'm always covered up. I have no reason to show my shit. 16, I basically had to learn to start covering myself up because I had older gentlemen constantly making comments or just staring. So when you have your
really creepy, Nora, that you're admitting to staring at children's breasts. That's really creepy, and it's not at all embarrassing for a teenager to see some psychotic lady on the internet talking about her boobs. Wow. And also, they're always trying to insinuate that Alicia's husband's some kind of weird pervert. Like, it's so messed up.
Top of your chest showing. Men are going to make comments. Men are going to stare. And especially now that she's all over the internet, she's got people saying shit about her. Both coitus-wise, Google coitus. I'm trying to use words that are not going to, I can say all kinds of other shit, but I can't say certain words. It's just, you need to, it needs to be covered. It really does. And when you have 1 million plus subscribers on YouTube, you have over 5 million on TikTok, and how many fucking people on Instagram, and you're showing 14, she just turned 14. You're showing this 14-year-old girl's well-developed chest to the entire world. And she's being coitusized. And it needs to stop. So not only is Alicia a disgusting piece of white trash shit, I haven't learned how to blur in editing, so, give me shit if you want for showing the kids' faces, but I'm kind of glad I'm going to do it, because the shit you're about to see is going to piss you off too. all they do is open presents. Well, one little boy, I'm not sure which one it is. One of them just opens a gift, throws it on the floor. Opens a gift, throws it on the floor. Opens a gift, throws it on the floor. No, thank you, thank you. Oh my God, this is so awesome. No, it's literally him just throwing it on the floor. Like he doesn't give a shit. It's gross. Entitlement these kids have, that they are so used to getting shit that they just want to see what the next shit is. Good parenting, Mom. Trying to get into her kids opening Christmas gifts, and all they do is yell, 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 driving me fucking crazy. I got a headache. Alicia doesn't go, hey kids, why don't you use your inside voice, okay? Because, you know, you're loud as fuck. But no, she continues to let these kids just use their outside voice, screaming, hooting and hollering, and I don't know why. Half of them already know what they got for Christmas.
Okay, really quick, I want to read this comment that was pinned by Josh on his video. He ended up removing this video, so we can't even see a clip of it. But what he did was get in contact with the bio mom, and the mom leaked her own daughter's text messages, okay? And texted her mother very private things. She was upset. She was venting about the situation, about Alicia. And the bio mom went to the Dad Challenge podcast and leaked them so he could show them. So let's read this. After reading a lot of the comments on this divisive issue, I've come to the conclusion that the decision I made to include the text was a tough one, not made lightly. On one hand, N didn't give me permission to use them, Mom did. And on the other hand, it exposed some deep, dark things that Alicia is currently doing, which was alleged. There was no proof of that. I also think that the best place for them, if they want, is still with the Dougherty Dozen household, but with the added protection of not filming them or putting them online in any way. Unfortunately, Alicia refuses to entertain that idea. But if she does care, it would be a no-brainer for her to mend these fences with N and make the promise to not exploit them any further. So this was after DCP started realizing that Shawna was a hot mess. She was trouble, and she was not getting the kids back. That is why he kind of backtracked, because at first he wanted the kids to go with bio dad and then bio mom, and then he backtracks when he saw the mess that was happening. But this is the kind of crap that the anti-mommy vloggers do. They insert themselves into people's personal lives and try to meddle where they don't belong, and they end up ruining families. That community is nothing but a shit show. I mean, it's just crazy the shit that they do and justify it by saying they're saving children. It's outrageous, you guys, okay? So we have Shawna over here. Then Shawna's getting visits with her kids. Well, D, okay, N's brother, does not even want to see her. He doesn't want to leave Alicia's house. He doesn't want to see Shawna. He wants to stay right where he is because he's got his friends. He's got his football. He's well taken care of. He's got his new siblings, his nice new little stable life. I don't blame the kid for not wanting to go with Shawna. But N, on the other hand, did want to go with Shawna. She was very hopeful that they would be able to have a relationship again and that she would be able to go live with Shawna. And that's the sad thing. Shawna made her believe that she was getting her back. Shawna made her believe that she was getting a house, she was going to court, she was getting custody back, and they were going to live this happily ever after life that clearly N wanted with her mother. And it's really sad that all of this was even playing out on the internet to begin with, and not by Alicia's doing. That's the other crazy thing. Alicia was not the one who was putting all this shit out there. Shawna, Honora, and DCP were the ones who were blasting this shit out there. Honora is who put out that N had a mental health crisis and was like going through things. She put that on blast. DCP leaked text messages of this young girl with her mother. And Alicia was just quiet the entire time about the N situation. Yet Alicia's the bad guy. But all of you out here who claim that you don't use kids, you don't exploit kids, you're not for any of this stuff, you're the ones who were blasting all of this private business that should have been left behind the scenes. Make that make sense. I mean, it's like hypocrisy to the next fucking level, you guys. Okay, anyway. So, things ended up just getting worse and worse, okay? The drama was raging. N was having issues, that she needed to get help with. Anyway, long story short, N ended up leaving the house. And she no longer lives with Alicia Dougherty. But Dee stayed behind and wanted to stay. Which is sad that they had to get, broken up. But I understand why he wanted to stay. He has an amazing life there. I'm glad that he did stay, because I think that's the best place for him. So N leaves, and she's thinking that she's just going to go somewhere for temporary until her mom gets her crap together. Okay, so she's thinking, I'm leaving, but I'm not going to be anywhere for long because my mom is going to come back for me. My mom is going to get a house and a job, and we're going to live together. But she didn't want to stay in Alicia's house while she was waiting for this to happen. Now, I truly believe the internet and Shawna caused the strain in the relationship between Alicia and N. I think that all of these issues were caused by the internet and Shawna, which is sad. It's sad that a community of people who claims to care about children and families and protecting kids so easily can seek to destroy a family and their relationships. It's sad. It's disgusting. It's just, I literally cannot believe that that's a thing. I can't. And from people who claim they help kids. Anyways, so N ends up leaving. Well, update, fast forward to now, I recently have heard some things going on. Now, Alicia made a post on Instagram saying that she now has full custody of Dee. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. I wonder if something happened. So I did a little bit of research, asking around, and it turns out that Shawna, is in rehab again, and she relapsed, which I'm not going to judge her for that. I'm not going to get into that. That's her journey. That's her thing. Okay. I'm a former addict. I understand people make mistakes. I understand people relapse. I understand that things happen and life doesn't always go the way that we wanted to. But my problem is now N doesn't have Alicia, doesn't have her brother, doesn't have that house that was so loving and amazing to her and all the great opportunities she would have had living in that family. She's now floating around in the foster care system and probably not anytime soon going with her mother. So all of the assholes, Honora, DCP, all of the subscribers, all of the creators, all of you nasty people who wanted N out of that house so badly and for her to go with her mother, she's not with her mother. She's floating around the foster care system, going from house to house to house with no home, nowhere to settle, and no actual chance to have a calm, stable life. I hope y'all are happy, because this is what you wanted, right? DCP has even said things like, oh, these kids would be better off in foster care than with Alicia, or this mommy vlogger, or that mommy vlogger. That is how deranged these people are. It's very sad. It's very sad. And Shawna giving her kids that sense of false hope where, N thought that she was going to be able to go stay with her and now she can't, and who knows how long it will be. If you relapse and you have to go to rehab or whatever, it's sad. It's a very sad situation, and none of the people online should have been involved in it. Nobody should have inserted themselves and befriended the biomom. I mean, Honora's ex-friend Brandy was becoming best friends with biomom. It's weird. You should not be inserting yourselves as a creator into these people's lives and befriending them and covering the story and getting all involved like this. It never ends well. And I just wanted to kind of update a little bit because I think the anti-mommy vloggers are a serious problem. They cause destruction. They destroy families. They rip families apart. They hurt people. They aren't helping anybody. But I am happy for Dee that he is now permanently with the Dougherty Dozen household. I think that that's great for him. He has everything that he needs. He has a life. He seems very happy. And I don't think Alicia's a bad mom. I don't. I'm sorry, I just don't. I don't think she's the evil villain that so many people wanted her to be. Is she perfect? No. But no mom is perfect. That's the thing with mommy vloggers. Like, no mom is perfect. I know a lot of them like to portray this certain image of like they've got it all together. They're super mom. They're doing this and that. But at the end of the day, they're just people. And they are people that are online. And they are being heavily scrutinized by the public about their parenting and their personal life. And that can be hard, you know, and some people would say, well, that's what you get. Don't share your life. But at the same time, it's like, that's kind of not fair. You know, I'm kind of going through something now where I feel like I can't share things about my life because of the nasty people. It gets used against me. And that's not right. People should be able to share their life without it getting used as a weapon to hurt them. And that's just how I feel about it. Anyways, let me know what you guys think down below. I will see you in my next video. Bye.